So in the Evangelist News, I did a story a few weeks ago about Europe Car reporting that they were doing so many miles in EVs and hybrids and how much more they're renting them out. The story was on LinkedIn, so I replied to the guy and asked him for a breakdown, and also asked him how he knew how many miles the hybrids were doing on electric and not using the ICE engine. And somebody said, somebody accused me of, I'd left it a few days, he never replied to me, and somebody accused me of doing it just before the weekend, so he couldn't reply, so I could make a story. Well, I've got news for you, it's what, 2 weeks on, he's still not replied to me. But you know what? Two of them from Europe Car have checked me out on LinkedIn. They've seen the story, they've not replied. The only conclusion I can draw from that is it's bullshit. They can't back the story up. They can't back up what they're saying, otherwise they'd be straight on to me, wouldn't they? And then I see another story here, a battery replacement that could have been avoided in 2 minutes. And now I did notice that one of the EV stroke Angelus a few weeks ago was selling a Kia with a very, very limited battery range. And they're the ones that said, what happens when a cell goes down? It's easy, you just pop a new cell in. You have to laugh. When EV batteries are no longer suitable for cars, they sell them to some idiot who fits it to his canal boat. Oh God, I hope he's got more than one exit. You know, like it's second nature, not that you've got to make sure the integrity of the battery hasn't been compromised, because if it gets any salt water in, the whole car's going to go up. It's that easy. And that's what you're messing with. It, to be fair, it's life and death. And I think that when anybody does any work on a battery, it should then have to be certified by somebody competent who knows what they're doing. Not just pop a new cell in, that's ridiculous. So here we go. Oh, and I've been highlighting these cars that are at the auction that, in my opinion, are just waiting to explode somewhere, on either at the auction or on a drive or a garage near you. A battery replacement that could have been avoided in 2 minutes. Remember that post about a faulty Model 3 bought at an auction? Let me share the update. A few weeks ago, we got a call from one of our shop customers after they ran the test you see in the picture. Full red light, high cell imbalance. Not one of those minor fluctuations that correct themselves. High cell imbalance. So the person also who was saying a few weeks ago, you can correct the cell imbalance. You can't. The ones in the auction, you can't. It says high. Left unresolved, it will soon push the car into protection mode and make it undrivable. If you missed the first post, this 2020 Model 3 standard range showed no warnings and looked perfect at the auction. The dealer who bought it took the car to a repair shop that ran a 2-minute test with volt test. After seeing the result, they sent the car to Tesla for a full diagnostic. Tesla service confirmed the severe cell imbalance we had flagged. Luckily for the dealer, the car was still under warranty and Tesla replaced the entire battery pack. The time lost and related costs, though, will not come back. When I shared the original post, some commenters questioned whether our assessment was accurate or if the solution was really necessary. Well, Tesla's own service team just validated our findings by replacing the entire battery pack under warranty. Volt Test surfaced the faults in 2 minutes. Tesla's full diagnostic took about a day and reached the same conclusion. Well, I don't think that Volt test is quite as comprehensive as Tesla's. Somehow, you know, I just don't think so. But all right, we'll let them go on, and hopefully it is. Hopefully it works. The battery pack is now new, and the dealer at least avoided listing an unsafe car. Exactly. Tell me this. Tell me, why is it illegal to sell a car that's got a recall on it, but yet it's legal to sell a car that you know nothing about the battery? Why is there an emission test on a nice car on every MOT, but there's not a test on the battery, which should be compulsory? EV batteries should be tested every MOT for things like this, for cell imbalance, because let's face it, the driver's not going to know anything about it. The MOT is there to protect a driver who knows nothing about cars. In all honesty, from the MOTs I've seen on EVs, EV drivers know nothing about cars. They've got no idea, and they think that you can just buy an EV and not have it serviced. So an EV driver's preventative maintenance, servicing, maintenance, it's not. It's reactive. They only get, by the look of it, they only get things repaired when it's reported on the MOTs, and even then, they leave it till the last second. They seem to be so tight that they could peel an orange in their pocket. And the whole point, the whole reason for buying an EV is not because you want a new car and you want a car and you like the look of it and you want to drive it and you want to feel good when you're driving it. It's to save money. If they put the family in danger by charging it overnight in the house or in the garage downstairs, then honestly, the amount I've seen where the canvas is coming through the tyres, one of the leading, one of the big mouths of EVs going on about how long his tyres last. What he didn't say is he was running around with braid coming out the tyres, and they were actually bald. They were less than 1.6 millimetres. But all he said was how many miles he got out of his tyres. He didn't get that many miles out of his tyres. What he did do was break the law for thousands of miles. Risk a £2,500 fine for each tyre. That's what he did. Let's not beat about the bush. He was driving illegally. He was risking a crash. He was risking skidding. He was risking a blowout at 70 miles an hour in a 2-ton car that could have killed all his passengers and a few others in another car, just so as he could put on social media that he got 40,000 miles out of his tyres. What a shithead. Bad battery packs can look healthy on the dashboard. This one looked fine, but it would soon have dropped into protection mode and become undrivable. As EVs age and enter the used car market in larger numbers, traditional inspection methods aren't enough. Volt Test's quick battery assessment are not optional. They are a safety net for buyers and sellers, and Tesla's own service team confirmed the result. Have you ever caught a hidden fault before it turned into a bigger problem? Should EV battery health testing be mandatory at auctions? It should be mandatory at auctions. It should be mandatory before you get on a ferry, on the Eurotunnel, going into an underground car park. It should be mandatory. It should be mandatory on the MOT. I mean, to be fair, if it was mine, it should basically be the same as when you check your tyres. When you do your safety checks, you should plug it in. You really should. Curious to hear your thoughts. A lot of people on, my detractors say, nobody listens to me and I'm making these videos in my cupboard. But yet here on LinkedIn, I get a mention. Take a look at Barrie, Crampton on YouTube. Increasing amount of UK inoperable cars being shifted through auctions with warnings on battery reports saying inoperable, incorrect voltage spread, fire risk. He is predicting one day one of these will burn down. I put money on it. And that was with only, was it 10% of the batteries with a test? So 90% of the cars there are unknown status. Interesting that many of these cars should be under battery warranty, unless maybe insurer or manufacturers already settled with a customer. So I've just put there, thanks for the mention, David. And the guy who here, David Jacoby, is he called, or something like that? David Jacoby. Would you be interested in letting me test one? I'd love to see how they work and get a better understanding of the tests. Now, there's a like, there's 32 impressions. Not heard anything from David. So again, David, would you be interested in letting me test one on my YouTube channel? I believe these tests should be mandatory on the MOT, and especially on every single auction car, and perhaps even before an EV is allowed onto a ferry or the Eurotunnel. I'm not looking to slag it off, but I would love to see evidence of it in action and the results it produces. Thanks in advance. Nothing back from him, but you'll see here, he has answered other people. There you go, he's answered other people. There you go, look. And those have come after me. That's an unfortunate name. I'd love to know. I'd love to know if it works. I have a friend who sells EVs, believe it or not. Does nothing but sell EVs. He still talks to me. You know, let's be testing it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.